Why does this transistor give me these values when I measure it this way? It's as if the transistor were in good condition. However, when I reverse the multimeter probes, it still gives me values as if the transistor were in good condition. Which is strange. It's as if the transistor were damaged. However, it's not damaged. And the reason why it gives us those values is due to the components we have around the transistor. Hello everyone. This is Professor Nelson from Electronics. This time, we're going to learn how to measure transistors and other components found on an electronic board, so that we can understand why the multimeter gives us those values. In this way, we can avoid replacing or removing components that are in good condition. Well, without further ado, let's watch the video. Alright, now before we start measuring the components, we first need to know how the components are connected to each other. The most common connection is in parallel. That is, you will find several components that will be connected in parallel with each other. Here, for example, we have two 150 ohm resistors in parallel. And if you measure them with a multimeter, it won't read 150 ohms. The result will be 75 ohms. This is because we have two resistors in parallel. This configuration is very common in electronic boards. Now let's see if we can find some components connected in parallel. They usually have similar values. For example, here we have two 5 ohm NTC thermistors. They are both connected in parallel. Here we also have two 150 ohm resistors connected in parallel. We can see the connections from the back. Here are the thermistor connections. And in the case of the resistors, they are connected right here, the top and bottom. Let's measure the resistors and see their value on the multimeter. There we have 75 ohms when the resistance value should be 150 ohms. And the same in the case of the NTC. In the case of the NTC, they are in parallel. Let's see how many ohms they measure. It measures 2.5 ohms, which means that a single NTC would measure 5 ohms. Therefore, the two connected in parallel would measure 2.5 ohms. Keep in mind that there are many components in parallel. Here we have two more resistors that are in parallel. There we can see its value. It's 820 ohms. And here we have another one. Since they have the same value, it's possible they're connected in parallel. Okay, now let's look at another configuration. But first, a big hello to all my subscribers, to those who comment and share the videos, and especially to the channel members. A big hello to all the channel members. Guys, thank you so much for your support. Seriously, thank you so much. And if you're not yet a channel member, you can become one in the members section. Without further ado, let's continue with the video. Now let's measure other components. However, first, something very important. Before taking measurements of other components, I advise you to discharge the high-voltage electrolytic capacitors, like these two here. For that, you have to use a screwdriver and short-circuit the capacitor pins. However, this will generate a spark, so I advise you to move the board away when you make the short circuit. Once the capacitors are discharged, you can continue measuring other components. In this case, we're going to measure these two resistors that appear to be in series. The value of the resistors is 150 kilo ohms. Therefore, we set our multimeter to a higher range. We take the resistance measurement, and we can see that the value is increasing. Why is the value increasing? Well, to understand that, let's look at an electronic diagram. Here we have the electronic diagram for that area. And we can see that we have the two resistors in series. Additionally, we have the two capacitors which also work in series. Now, the job of the resistors is to distribute the voltage we get from the full-wave rectifier. That is, we first have 220 volts of alternating current. After that, thanks to the rectifier, we have 310 volts. Those 310 volts could damage the capacitors if we don't put these two resistors in series, since they will divide the voltage for the capacitors. That is, each capacitor will receive 155 volts because we are using two resistors of the same value. And if one of them is damaged, it is possible that one of the capacitors will receive a voltage higher than it can withstand, causing a failure in the electronic board. Now, why was the resistance value increasing? That's caused by the capacitor in parallel with the resistor. When we take the measurement, we're charging the capacitor, which is why the resistance value was increasing. The value will increase until it reaches a value similar to the resistance value. Now you know why the resistance value was increasing, and you know how those components are working in that area. Okay, let's move on to checking other components. Now we'll check the transistors we have here. For that, we'll put our multimeter in diode mode and measure each transistor. First, we'll measure it like this. Positive to pin 3 and negative to pin 1. And we can see that we get a reading. But when I reverse the probes, we still get a reading. That is, the transistor can be measured one way or the other. Now, why does the transistor behave that way? Well, for that you also need to look at the electronic diagram of that area. Because if you look at the circuit board, there aren't just transistors, but several components that interact with them. And we can see that we have two transistors with two very similar groups of components. So let's look at the circuit diagram now to understand why we have those measurements. Okay, first let's look at the pinout of the transistors. Pin 1 is the base, pin 2 is the collector, and pin 3 is the emitter. Therefore, the base should be either positive or negative. However, in this case, we're talking about an NPN transistor. Therefore, the base should be positive, and the collector and emitter should be negative. And that's true. This is an NPN transistor. But why does it measure us backwards? Let's look at this with this diagram. First, when I connect positive to the emitter and negative to the base, we get a reading. Let's see that. I connect positive to the emitter and negative to the base. We can see that we have this circuit here. in which we have an inductor, a 10-ohm resistor, and a diode. And when measured this way, the diode is working, allowing current to flow to the base. Since we have a 1.5 ohm resistor here. Therefore, when we measure this way, the measured value is higher than that of a diode. This is because the voltage drops across each of these components are added together. Therefore, measuring it this way, we should have a value slightly higher than that of a diode. And we have 416. Now, what happens when I measure between the emitter and collector? I also get a measured value, but somewhat lower. By placing positive on the emitter and negative on the collector, we can observe that there is a protection diode and that it is forward biased. Therefore, the multimeter reading is for a diode, and that value is lower than the one we measured previously. Therefore, this resolves the measurements we had earlier. Therefore, to understand what you are measuring with the multimeter, you must first observe the components that are around the component you want to measure. And if possible, try to draw an electronic diagram of that area to understand the reason for those measurements. Very good. Now we understand why we have those measurements for that transistor. Now let's look at other components. Now let's measure this component. In this package, we have two diodes which rectify the alternating current supplied by this transformer. They convert it into direct current. That is, pin 1 is the anode, and pin 2 is the cathode. Pin 3 is the anode, and pin 2 is the cathode. Let's measure this component with the multimeter to confirm those readings. We have 164. Now let's measure between pin 2 and pin 3. And we have the same value. However, if I measure it the other way around, it shouldn't measure anything. But we have a measurement that is higher than the previous one. We have almost 370 millivolts. And we do the same with pin 3. And we get the same value. Now, why is this dual diode measuring this way, since it shouldn't measure us in reverse? Well, that's because this component is interacting with other components. For example, in this electronic diagram, we can see how it is connected with these two resistors, and this capacitor, and this inductor. The inductor is from the transformer, which supplies the alternating current to the two diodes. Now, we can measure diodes in two ways. One directly, negative to cathode, and positive to anode. In that situation, we'll get a diode reading. But if we measure it in reverse, the diode won't work. But if we look at the circuit, we can see that the negative terminal is connected to ground thanks to the transformer's inductor. That is, measuring this way is the same as measuring the two resistors that are in parallel with the capacitor. And since we have two 820 ohm resistors, the result is 410 ohms. And with the capacitor, the multimeter reading is 370 millivolts, a value very close to the value provided by the two resistors in parallel. Here we have the three capacitors connected in parallel. Since they are three 2,200 ohm capacitors, we would have 6,600 microfarads. And they are connected in parallel. The same goes for the two 820 ohm resistors. We have two resistors connected in parallel. And the short circuit sound we heard with each measurement was because we were charging the capacitor and then discharging it. Therefore, we were creating a short circuit with each measurement, hence the sound we heard a moment ago. Now you know why this component shows a reading in both forward and reverse bias. Very good, guys. This way you can measure different components. However, I would like to know in the comments what other components you would like me to measure on the electronic boards. Now, don't forget that if you like the video, a like really helps the channel. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.